Hello dear student, welcome back to the Python programming series. Let's continue with the function. Next topic in function is global and local variables in Python. Global variables are those which are not defined inside any function and have a global scope, whereas local variables are those which are defined inside a function and its scope is limited to that function only. That means global variables are declared outside the function and your local variables are declared inside the function. So their scope is going to be inside the function only. In other words, we can say that local variables are accessible only inside the function in which it was initialized, whereas the global variables are accessible throughout the program and inside every function. Local variables are those which are initialized inside a function and belongs to only that particular function. It cannot be accessed anywhere outside the function. Let's see how to create local variables. For example, see we have a function def. I'm writing s equals to I love Python print s. So this s is a local variable which is declared inside the function. Okay, if I print f, if I call function f, it will give me I love Python. Okay, next is global variable. These are those which are defined outside any function and which are accessible throughout the program, that is inside and outside of every function. Let's see how to create a global variable. So that means, see, I'm writing a function and I'm printing inside function. Okay, then s equals to I love Python. Now this I'm writing outside the function, I'm not writing inside the function. Okay, so I'm printing or I'm calling function f. This will print inside function. Then I'm printing outside function comma s, so that means it will print outside function I love Python. Okay, so this is the global variable. Okay, that means it can now if I write global variable outside the function, I can call that, or I can access that variable inside the function also and outside the function also. So that means it is declared globally. You can use inside the function also, you can use outside the function also. Next is Python's anonymous or lambda function. Okay, now what is anonymous function? Anonymous means what? We does not know the name of that person. Correct? Anonymous person, we does not know who is. So similarly in Python, anonymous function is a function that is defined without any name. We don't know the name of the function. While normal functions are defined using the def keyword in Python, anonymous functions are defined using the lambda keyword. Therefore, anonymous function is also called as lambda function. Okay. Now, syntax of lambda function is, instead of using the def keyword, we are going to use lambda, arguments and the expression. Now see here we do not have name of the function only. Okay, we are directly using lambda and we are giving arguments, no name of function. Lambda function can have any number of arguments but only one expression. This expression is evaluated and returned. So here in lambda function you do not have name of the function. You have arguments. Any number of arguments are allowed, but in function you just have to write only one expression. You cannot write 2, 3 or 4 statements inside the function. Only one expression is allowed. See example of lambda function. I'm writing lambda. This x is my argument. Okay, colon x into 2. Okay, now while calling, I can call by any name. I can give any name to that anonymous function. So I'm writing print double of 5. So automatically it will give name double to my lambda function. Okay, so it will print 10. We can assign lambda to variable by doing something like this. See, I'm writing sum equals to lambda, arguments 1, argument 2, and here this function is what doing? It is doing argument 1 plus argument 2. Okay, so that means I am giving my lambda function to a variable. Okay, now while calling the function, I can call my function by that variable name. So I can write sum of 10, 20, sum of 20, 20. Understood? So I am giving my lambda function to a variable. Now what is the use of lambda function in Python? We use lambda function when we require a nameless function for a short period of time. In Python, we generally use it as argument to higher order function, a function that takes in order for other function as argument. Lambda functions are used along with built-in functions like filter, map and reduce. So these are three functions which are used with the lambda function. First is use of lambda function with filter. The filter function in Python takes in a function and a list as an argument. The function is called with all the items in the list, and a new list is returned which contains items for which the function evaluates to true. Here is an example of use of filter function to filter out only even number from the list. So filter function we can apply on list. Okay, so here I am giving it as my list equals to, I am passing some the arguments inside my list. Okay, then I am writing new list is my variable equals to list, and I am using filter. Okay, filter function, and then I'm calling lambda is my lambda function, anonymous function, x colon. Now colon means this is my expression x mod 2 equals to 0. Okay, and my list. So what it will do, it will give me what, only the even numbers from the list. So that means only those numbers which are divisible by 2 this function is going to return. Next is use of lambda function with map. The map function in Python takes in a function and a list. The function is called with all the items in the list, and a new list is returned which contains items returned by that function for each item. Here is an example use of map function to double all the items in a list. Program to double each item in a list using map. So I am again declaring a list using the variable mylist. My new list is list in bracket map, that means I am using map function, lambda x into 2. That means what it is going to do, it will double the value of all the elements of the list. Next is using lambda function with reduce. The reduce function in Python takes in a function and a list as an argument. The function is called with the lambda function and an iterable, and a new reduce result is returned. This performs a repetitive operation over the pair of iterable. The reduce function belongs to the functool module. Okay, so that means, see example, sum of all elements in list using lambda and reduce function. Python code to illustrate reduce with lambda to get sum of a list from as I told you, this reduce function comes from functool. Okay, so functool is my what? It is my library. From this it is going to import. So I am writing from functool import reduce. I am taking a list and I am taking a variable sum equals to reduce lambda x y. This is my variables, and what it is going to do, x plus y comma, I am passing the list. So it will, what it is going to do, it will sum all the elements of the list and the sum will get printed. Next topic is Python recursive function. In Python we know that function can call other function. It is even possible for function to call itself. This type of constructs are termed as recursive functions. So that means recursion is where a function call itself again and again, that is called as recursive function. For example, see, I am writing a factorial code. Okay, I am taking if x equals to 1, return 1, else return x into factorial of x minus 1. So I am calling this factorial function inside this inside that same function only. So it will call the function recursively and it will generate the factorial of the number. Okay, clear?